Alright, welcome to another video, and before we get started I'd like to take a quick minute to thank all the Patreon supporters and YouTube channel members whose names you see scrolling across the screen right now. They make this financially possible, and without you, I probably wouldn't be here making videos, so thank you. Alright, so we're back in the air. We're flying the Atomar Sea Dolphin, as you can see right back there. A nice little sunset over there on the horizon. We've managed to get in the air before the sun's actually completely set, but it will be here shortly. I've just launched the airplane. I'm in takeoff mode, still loitering around as you can see. Plan for this flight is just to head south out towards town, and we're going to turn around and fly back before we get all the way there, so we don't overfly town or anything like that. And I don't know, just kind of do a fun narrated flight. It's been a little while since I did one, and the last video I posted, I said that I just wanted to kind of get back into doing that stuff. So let's go ahead and get into cruise mode and be on our way. You might notice we do have a little bit of vibration that's showing up in the video. If I go to fly-by-wire, where I can have manual control over my throttle, see if I throttle up just a little bit, change the RPMs of the motor, that'll kind of go away. If we throttle back down to a more efficient cruise, right about there, it's kind of where it's resonating, and it tends to be right around in the upper to mid 30s. For throttle percentage, and you can see that's kind of where it wants to cruise, right around 30% in the upper to mid, or in the not upper to mid 30s, in the lower to mid range. But that is kind of where it tends to have a little bit more vibration. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to go to fly-by-wire, and I'm just going to go ahead and run the power up a little bit. You notice we're still running like 115-ish milliamp hours, 110 milliamp hours per mile efficiency. And we are showing a little bit of a tailwind right now, but there's really not a lot to be considered. But I'm basically just going to do that, run a little bit faster, mainly to make the video a little bit shorter. The flight go by pretty quick. And like I said, it will give me a chance to... I bumped my keyboard tray there. It'll give me a chance to run my power a little bit higher so that we don't have that weird vibration to deal with in the video. I noticed my video is actually kind of dropping a bit rate there for a minute, but it's kind of coming back up a little. We're back up to 25 and down in the single digits again. It's kind of acting a little weird. Not real sure why it's doing that. I actually kind of aim my antennas over here to the east of that cell phone tower that you can see in the center of the screen right there, with the lights flashing on it. So I may have just been kind of getting out of the beam of those antennas, which shouldn't be very narrow, although we are still relatively close in. We're like less than 2 miles out. It's a 9.4 dB triple feed patch arrays on the top of the Walksnail video receiver module, and the built-in patch antennas are still there for the other two antennas. So neither one of them should have a very narrow range there, or area of reception. But that might kind of be the issue why I was seeing that. But it is also dropping a little bit more. And if we head east, does it come back up? Not really. But we're only like, now you see it's back up to 25, and we're still like 2.3 miles out. I wouldn't really expect it to see it dropping that low, but there may be something else going on for it to be kind of fluctuating like that up and down. It might be something else interfering with the signal. I don't know. I see some smoke down there from a fire in town. So you can see we do have a little bit of wind, but it's not a tailwind like the autopilot is estimating. It's more from the east. So like I say, we're at town now. We're just going to kind of head out this way a little bit. Maybe look at the bridges, and then we'll fly back. So you can see the highway bridge right over there in the center of the screen. And this railroad track kind of right above my distance marker there. You can see it kind of running under the wing there. Kind of in line with where that smoke's at, actually. It runs and curves right there, you can see, and then it crosses the river there. That's the railroad bridge. So yeah, we'll go ahead and head back for home. I see my RSSI is really low. Single digits RSSI. So yeah, there's definitely something going on as far as interference or something out here today that's not usually there. And I'm not real sure why it's like that. And you see it's getting back up into double digits as soon as we get away from town. There's probably something different out here. It's been a while since I flew out here, but it seems to be something interfering with the DragonLink receiver and WalkSnail. You see, we're sitting on 25 megabits bitrate on WalkSnail right now with 3 out of 4 bar signal. But my RSSI is still unusually low for DragonLink. And we're sitting at like 338 feet altitude right now, which is more than enough. Not sure what's up, to be honest. But anyway, like I said, I just wanted to make that little quick run out to town like that. And then we're going to actually fly back kind of lower altitude once we get back closer to home. You see these trees right now in the center of the screen there. That's kind of between me and the airplane. Home is back behind those trees. So if I dip down too low right now, it's going to cut my video signal out. So we're going to kind of fly back this way to the west a little bit where we can get a line of sight back to home. If you look close, right on the horizon right there in the center, those couple of little white specks, that's some of the sheds and buildings around the house. That's where we're flying from. So as long as we can maintain line of sight to the airplane, we're good. So we're going to kind of go back to the west to get away from these trees. And then we're going to dive down and do some low altitude flying on the way back. So I'm actually going to probably dive down close to these trees here. Yeah, you see we're kind of keeping line of sight with home if we make a straight run for it from this point where we're at. So we'll go ahead and get down here low. And there's a ditch right out here in the field that I want to follow. On the way back home, I want to kind of fly along it. You can kind of see it coming up right there. And we're still a mile out, and we're just kind of skimming the ground out here. And we're going to follow this little drainage ditch back, which does have some water in it along the other end. But we should still be able to get down pretty low. Now I do notice a little bit of compression artifacts and things in the video as the bitrate does still fluctuate. And this is the Pro camera, but it's not set to night mode right now. It's set in day mode, which I probably should have set it to night mode before I took off. There's actually a bug in the firmware that's been known about for a little while. If you leave the camera set in night mode, when you boot it up, it'll come up and the setting in the menu shows night mode, but your camera is actually going to work in day mode until you go and toggle that setting. You set it to day mode and then back to night mode, and it'll actually switch to night mode, and you can see the difference. Especially if you're in a low light environment when you do it. If you're in a well lit area, you can't really tell the difference between day and night mode. But once the light gets low enough, which I believe it is right now as the sun has set, if we actually toggled the setting right now and switched it to night mode, you would probably see that difference. But yeah, we're already back home. We've been flying less than 10 minutes and we've already taken off and loitered a little bit and made our run out to town and back along the field there, and we're back at the house, flying over the runway. So I'm probably just going to make one more quick little run out here and fly along the fields and some of the ditches and stuff a little bit out here. And then we'll end the video shortly after that, so it doesn't end up being too long. If you've been paying attention to some of my recent videos, and you might have already noticed the difference in this one, the AHI, my Artificial Horizon Indicator, is solid yellow now instead of being transparent. The reason I did that is several people had asked me for the font file. This is basically a customized version of Sneaky FPV's Conthrax font for ArduPilot. And a couple of people had asked me for it. Well, several people have asked me for it. But I previously had the Artificial Horizon Indicator was semi-transparent. Or translucent, I guess would be the right word. And it It didn't work well if you used the font tool to overlay the font later after the fact and use the green screen option. It didn't really look right. The transparency kind of messed with that a little bit and it wasn't really usable. So I went ahead and made it solid opaque, like you see here, just solid yellow. And I did send those files to SneakyFPV, the PNG file for the 1080p and the 720p font, and asked him to make it available. Because like I said, I didn't really want to share his work, because basically all this is mostly his work with just a few little customizations that I did as far as icons and the horizon indicator and things like that. So I sent the files to him to make them available on his website if he chooses to do that. And if he does, then when people ask for it, then I can send them to his website. And you can thank him for all the hard work in making the font. But that's why I did it, so that it would work for everyone, even if they wanted to use that green screen option in the OSD tool. But personally, I don't really mind it. I kind of like the opaque AHI anyway. The transparency, you had to kind of look close to even notice it in the first place. So by switching that back to a solid font, it's not really that big of a deal. But yeah, flying right down low on the ground like this, it's really calm down here. And really smooth air. You see I'm actually just kind of manipulating the controls right now and trying to line up on these rows. And the airplane is slowly climbing a little bit. It's probably because I'm cruising a little bit faster than I typically fly than what everything's trimmed for. So I'm having to push the nose back down here and there periodically to keep it low. But yeah, like I said, I could go on and fly quite a bit more, but not sure what the deal is with the Dragon Link RSSI as well as the bitrate for the Walk Snow video. Both of them are kind of fluctuating out there close to town, so maybe there's something else going on out there different. So all my flights have been out in that direction behind us toward the river for the last several months, really. It's actually been a while since I flew out to town. So there may be some more radio transmitters or something out there that's transmitting now that wasn't previously. Kind of what it looks like. But like I said, I'm gonna kind of keep this video a little bit short. I just wanted to have something to post. It's been a while since I just posted a video where I talked about an airplane for a little bit. I haven't built anything new. I've been doing a lot of flying, testing Walk Snow firmware and stuff like that. Well, I say a lot of flying. A lot of the flying I have done has been kind of testing new features and firmware and things for Walk Snow, but I haven't really been able to fly much because obviously we're in the winter now. You can see we're out. It's actually really cold right now, but it's kind of warm here in the shop. Let's see if we can make a quick run through the trees out here. There's actually some there's some fence posts that I need to watch for out there. Then we need to make sure we get low enough to get under these limbs, and then we can come back out here. And it's actually easier to line up on that and get a clear run through there if we come west to east. That little run there, I actually intended to line up on it, get down low and line up on it quicker than I did. But I had to remember those fence posts out there, that you have to kind of avoid those, because you don't really see those until you're right on top of them. And I don't want to go break a wing off on a fence post. See, there's one there and one more on the corner. We just kind of went between them. But anyway, that's enough kind of playing around. There's really not a lot to do out here as far as stuff to fly around and through and by. And starting to get late. And like I say, we're a bit in the air for 14.5 minutes now. It's going to end up being a 15-minute video. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to land. So I'll take the time to thank you all for watching the video. And I don't know where we're going to go from here. Like I said, I haven't been really working on any new projects. As far as building airplanes or anything, there's nothing really new going on. It's kind of in those slow part of the year where I don't really build much or fly much. Want to, I'm just not able to. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and set up a landing from here, from this direction, just in case we do have a little bit of that easterly wind still out there. We won't be landing with a tailwind. And as far as what we fly next, I don't know, maybe if one of my old airplanes I haven't flown in a while, if you've been waiting to see something, let me know. Drop it in the comments. Maybe I can fly it next. Try to get a nice smooth approach and landing. there's the shop. It's another thing. You see that tall antenna, the one on the left, not the one with the little pointed triangle shaped cellular antenna, the taller one on the left right now. That's where my Voxnel video receiver is actually all the way on top of that. It's about 25 feet off the ground. I kind of mentioned that in the previous video too, but I can actually show it to you now live. So that's how I'm able to fly down low in the fields out there like that without kind of losing the video signal. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and disarm the airplane. Go back to manual first and disarm. And I will see you all in the next video. Let me know what you want to see next. Maybe I can accommodate that. And if not, maybe make some suggestions on a new airplane I should build. Maybe I'll buy something new and get to work on a new project. But anyway, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one.